Hare Krishna, Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 1, Observing the Armies in the Battlefield of Kurukṣetra, Text number 1. Dhṛtarāṣṭra uvacha, Dharmashetre Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsava, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, Kim Akurvata, Sañjaya. Translation and purport. Dhṛtarāṣṭra said, O Sañjaya, after my sons and the son of Pāṇḍu assemble in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukṣetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? So this is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita, and here Dhṛtarāṣṭra is asking question to Sañjaya, what's happening in this battlefield of Kurukṣetra. And then later part Sañjaya will be narrating the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. So here in this verse, it mentioned that the place is known as Kurukṣetra, and this place is also known as Dharmashetra. So in the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, here the detailed explanation. Firstly, Srila Prabhupada explained about theistic sign. I will read that. Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic sign summarized in the summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of Gita. This particular theistic sign means the signs about God. And here, this sign about God is known as Aparushaya. Aparushaya means this sign which is not given by the conditioned soul but the Lord Himself. So, Sripada Sankaracharya, he has given the benefit of reading this Bhagavad Gita. So, there are about 7 slokas in this Gita Mahatmya by Sankaracharya. So, first sloka states about the benefit that one will reach the spiritual planet, Vaikuntha, Goloka Vrindavanam, and then one will also be free from fear and lamentation by reciting this Bhagavad Gita. That's like second sloka of Gita Mahatmya. If one with sincere and all seriousness then recites or read Bhagavad Gita, one will be freed from the karmic reaction. Third verse, how we are cleaning the body with the water, Gangesh water. Similarly, the water, Ganges of Bhagavad Gita, cleans all material contamination, bad impression, bad thought, bad deeds, and so on. And fourth benefits, the essence, this Bhagavad Gita is the essence because it is spoken by Krishna himself. Who is Krishna? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when the Lord speaks Bhagavad Gita, it is complete by itself. So here the ordinary people do not have sufficient time, or they would not do not have sufficient time to read all the Vedic scriptures. So if one takes up this Bhagavad Gita, it is complete by itself. Fifth sloka states about that one will not take rebirth again in this material world. Sixth, devotee will cherish the nectar of Bhagavad Gita and also enjoy the nectarian, is how Arjuna is enjoying how the cow and the calf is enjoying the milk. Arjuna is enjoying the milk of the nectar which given by Krishna from the Ishopanishad. Here Bhagavad Gita also known as Gita Upanishad. So that the devotee will get the benefits from this Bhagavad Gita. And finally, Sripada Sankaracharya state that there is only one scripture, that is Bhagavad Gita. There's only one God, Krishna, and there's only one mantra, that is his name, and there's only one activity, that is devotional service to Krishna. So Sripada Sankaracharya ends his Gita Mahatmya, the glorification of Bhagavad Gita, with this seventh sloka. Further elaborating, Srila Prabhupada explained how to read Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada stated that there it is said that one should read Bhagavad Gita very firstly, scrutinizingly. That means very attentively, seriously, carefully, respectfully, and so on. So, all this. So, one should really seriously study and carefully study Bhagavad Gita as it is. Second, Bhagavad Gita can be understood, or one should read Bhagavad Gita with the help of devotee of Krishna. So here we can see that a later part that Krishna will tell Arjuna, I am explaining this confidential knowledge because you are my friend and my devotee. So the devotee will understand Bhagavad Gita. They would able to explain the Bhagavad Gita as taught to Arjuna. Thirdly, try to understand it without personal motivated interpretation. The example of clear understanding is there in Bhagavad Gita itself. In the way the teaching is understood by Arjuna, who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. So here we should not have our own agenda while reading Bhagavad Gita. So now, while reading Bhagavad Gita or studying Bhagavad Gita, we should find out what is Krishna's agenda. We should not have our own agenda to understand Bhagavad Gita. So here Arjuna found out what is Krishna's agenda, Krishna's reason or Krishna's desire, and he understood by such a way, and the result of this particular understanding, what without personal motivation, I'll read. If someone is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita in the line of disciplic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. So here disciplic succession refer the bona fide to disciplic succession. So if you're having Bhagavad Gita as it is, if you see refer text 1, chapter 1, text 1, before that, there's a list of disciplic succession of Brahma, Madhav, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. So this is bona fide disciplic succession. So Srila Prabhupada elaborate the specific standard of the Bhagavad Gita. First, one will find in the Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. That is the specific standard of Gita. So whatever are there, it's already there. And what is not there, it's in Bhagavad Gita. So it is complete. Secondly, Prabhupada says, it is the perfect theistic sign because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So whatever comes from the perfect personality, the Lord is perfect, Krishna is perfect, Purna, complete. So whatever his message, whatever teaching, whatever he's saying, what his name, his activity, everything is perfect. So this science, this knowledge is also perfect knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada elaborate further. The topics discussed by Dhṛtarāṣṭra and Sañjaya, as described in Mahabharata, form the basic principle for the great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukṣetra, which is the sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. So we can understand a rough estimate of 5,000 years from the date today, from at the present date, rough estimate of 5,000 years, Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita for the guidance of mankind. So the Bhagavad Gita is actually a manual for human being to how to lead life and how to completely transfer themselves to the spiritual planet. Next, why Dharmashetra is so significant? Why the word Dharmashetra is used over here? The word Dharmashetra, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukṣetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. So that's why this place is also known Kurukṣetra and Dharma Kshetra. Later part, further elaboration on this Kshetra. Why such query? What did they do? So here we can understand that Dhṛtarāṣṭra is asking question, what did they do? So what's happening in the battlefield? Definitely there will be a fight between two parties, but Dhṛtarāṣṭra had such a query. So now I will read first. Dhṛtarāṣṭra, the father of the Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sañjaya, what did they do? He was confident that both his son and son of younger brother Pāṇḍu was assembled in the field of Kurukṣetra for a determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want a compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his son on the battlefield. So Dhṛtarāṣṭra was really worried about the influence of the Dharma Kshetra. So he wants this battlefield to go on. So that's why with so much anxiety he's asking this particular question. After they have assembled to fight. Next, because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukṣetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedic as a place of worship, even for the denizen of heaven. Dhṛtarāṣṭra became very fearful about the influence of holy place of the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the son of Pāṇḍu favorably because by nature they were all virtuous. So, elsewhere in the Vedic principle, we may find that in Jabala Upanishad 1 and Satapatha Brahmana 14.1.1.2 mentioned that this place is a place of sacrifice for the Devatas. And this place also a place of worship Lord Krishna or Lord Hari. So that's why this particular place has the dharmic influence. And dharmic influence were this dharmic influence is very favorable towards Pandavas because they were following the Dharma. Prabhupada explains further about Sañjaya. Sañjaya was a student of Vyasa, and therefore, by the mercy of Vyasa, Sañjaya was able to envision the battle of Kurukṣetra even while he was in the room of Dhṛtarāṣṭra. And so, Dhṛtarāṣṭra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. So Sañjaya was student of Vyasa who had blessing of Vyasa for him to see what's happening. And in Hastinapur, Sañjaya is explaining what's happening in Kurukṣetra. About the Kauravas, who are the actually Kauravas? Prabhupada explained both the Pandavas and the son of Dhṛtarāṣṭra belong to the same family, but Dhṛtarāṣṭra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his son as Kurus, and he separated the son of Pāṇḍu from their family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhṛtarāṣṭra in his relationship with his nephews, the son of Pandus. He was not favorable towards Pandavas. He wants his sons to occupy the kingdom, and here he clearly separates them. His son as Kauravas, although the Pandavas is Kauravas, and he addressed them as the Pandavas or the son of Pandu. What is the significance of this place Dharma? Srila Prabhupada explained. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plant are taken out. So it is expected from the very beginning of this topic that in the religious field of Kurukṣetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants like Dhṛtaraṣṭra's son, Duryodhana, and others would be wiped out, and the truly religious person, headed by Yudhishthira, would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of the word Dharmashetra and Kurukṣetra, apart from their historical and Vedic importance. So there are some historical event took place in this place, Kurukṣetra, but here Krishna is present where he going to establish the Dharma at this particular suitable place that is known as Kurukṣetra, where it is known also the Dharmashetra. So unwanted plants because the sons of Duryodhana, they were not following the Dharma. So adharma will be wiped out. An example given here, like an unnecessary plant will be taken away to establish the to plant a good whatever beneficial plant. Significance of Dharma. So thus this is the first verse. Dhṛtarāṣṭra mentioning to Sañjaya after the son after his son and son of Pandu assemble in this particular place known Dharmashetra, Kurukṣetra, which is Dharmashetra, and his question is, what did they do? Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.